This meeting is being recorded. This meeting is being recorded.
Okay. Hi, folks. Hi, Anna.
Hello.
Yes, I'm going to start the screen here as soon as I can. I can't figure out why I have made so many mistakes this afternoon. I ask your indulgence. We'll get going here in a second. I think it's my age that's getting in the way of effectiveness here. I'm really sorry for causing such grief for you all here today. I'm going to adopt a different plan for talking about the screen because I have somehow screwed up in finding a way to show it on the screen, and it's very frustrating for me that I have screwed up like that. When I thought I was doing everything right. And
Mona's at the door, Karen.
pardon?
Mm.
Yeah. It's so embarrassing for me, and I've run this several times, as you know, and have not had problems. Pardon?
In the meantime, you can say Gilia.
Hi, Gilia. Hey, that's Gilia. Yeah, I could see Gilia. You can't if you're sharing screen. That's good, Arna. That's the village of Gilia, which we're talking about.
That's right.
So let me now just continue the conversation. Nuts. So frustrating. All right, we're going to talk it. We're going to talk it through. You're going to listen carefully. Today we're going to talk, folks. Thanks so much about the first reunion we held 50 years ago, and then tell you about what's coming up this current one. And we're starting here with we have two Rolette reunions 50 years apart. The first reunion took place July 3rd and 4th in 1976. That was the 200th anniversary of the United States Declaration of Independence. The reunion took place in Rolette County, North Dakota. There were 275 attendees, mostly descendants of several Rolette area Norwegian pioneer families, mainly the Bakkens, the Beavers, the Gilgies, the Mohans, the Strands, and the Tostids. The feature of the first afternoon on Saturday, July 3rd, was a region-wide picnic at the International Peace Garden on the Canadian border. That was followed by an evening program at one of the churches in Rolette, where we had discussion of memories of the pioneers, including Knud Mohn, who was interviewed. Knud had been here in 1905, and he discussed what it was like to be at Rolette in those years. Then on Sunday morning, we had an outdoor worship at the Westland Cemetery, led by Albert Tostad, a pioneer descendant. At that time, a monument that had been prepared by some of the descendants was dedicated, and the monument itself looked just like a cemetery, regular cemetery monument, contained within it a area that provided for a time capsule to be sealed. And that day, they took a couple of styrofoam cores, cylinders that fit in the monument, and people put personal notes to their descendants in that in the times capsule. And after those were put in, plus a few other mementos, including a book listing the names of the people attending, it was sealed with concrete, with the children present given the opportunity to use the mortar and participate in sealing the monument, sealing the time capsule. So the time capsule was deposited in the monument, and children participated in the placing of it. That was that day. Then they then the next thing happened. The next reunion, number 2, will be in July 10th to the 12th in 2026, just a little bit more than a year from now. That will be the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Declaration of Independence. And it will, let me see if I sure wish I could get this on the screen for you. Okay, I think I've got it. Have you got it on the screen now? Can you see it?
Yes.
Can you all see it? Okay. So reunion number 2 will be in Rolette County, North Dakota, just at the first. The headquarters will be at the Rolette County Memorial Hall in Rolette, thanks to Andy Gilgy, a member of the Rolette City Council and a descendant of pioneers. Lodging will be provided easily, if you want to take advantage of it, at the Sky Dancer Hotel and Casino, which is 10 miles directly north of Rolette. And the reservations are easily gotten there, and we have reserved at least 50 rooms for people who might want them. In addition to that, lodging is available in many of the surrounding area cities, including Bottineau, Dunseith, Rugby, and Rolla. The participant families will be mainly the Bakkens, the Beavers, the Gilgies, the Mohans, and the Tostids, with a welcome extended to all who desire to attend without regard to ancestry. So this is not going to be a closed event, it could be an open event. And this morning, we had an earlier session today where we talked about the details. I will go through those with you after I review this. This was prepared before we had the committee meeting this morning. In addition, there there will be displays at the headquarters of Pioneer family photos, artifacts, and other materials. That will take place in the Memorial Hall in Rolette. We will have tours of Pioneer farms and surrounding historical sites, such as the Turtle Mountain Ojibwe Heritage Center. There will be a reunion picnic, likely at the International Peace Garden. We'll have an unveiling and dedication at Westland Cemetery of a life-size steel sculpture of a Pioneer family. That's now under construction, financed by volunteer contributions from descendants. There will be special activities for children. There will be an outdoor worship center at Westland Cemetery, and we will be opening that time capsule from 1976, distribute it and let people see its contents. Then after a period of time, we'll have people put messages into the time capsule again, and it will be refilled and resealed with the children participating as they would like to help seal it up for another 50 years to 2076. Is somebody asking a question? We'll also possibly have it looks like we're going to have an evening program, maybe at the Skydancer Resort and Casino. We talked about the details here today as to when the timing will be. But it looks like we're going to be able to start the reunion on Friday noon, the 10th of July, through Sunday noon, the 12th of July. So it looks like it'll be a little bit shorter time this time than it was. Now, your help in preparation is needed and valued. And if any of you would like to suggest ideas or volunteer to help in some way, you can contact one of us whose names are here, and you've seen those on many of your emails. This is a sketch of the Pioneer Family Monument that now is being built. We've received almost $18,000 in gifts so far, and you're still welcome to make gifts. We'll be sending the information out again in an email because we have the cost to cover the construction of this plus the related costs of the reunion. But as you can see, it's going to be about 6 feet tall by about 6.5 feet wide. Shows a farmer, his wife, and the two little kids, and of course at the plow. This is the reunion headquarters in Rolette. It's the Memorial Hall, and we have, thanks to Andy Gilgee, who's on the Rolette City Council and a descendant of one of the pioneers, we've got this reserved now. Will be costing us $1,500 for use of it for the weekend, but it's got an upper level and a lower level, so it's going to give us adequate space for various programs. This is the cover of the souvenir booklet from 1976. We have this available on the internet for people to look at on our website, Rolette Reunion 2026.org. And that said, reunion, in 1976, it said reunion of descendants, selected Norwegian immigrants who settled north of Rolette, North Dakota between 1885 and 1905. Rolette, North Dakota, July 3rd and 4th, 1976. Booklet compiled by descendants of the following families: Sven and Britta Olsen, TK and Turi Bakken, Enoch and Ann Gilgee, Lars and Christina Gilgee, Peter and Margaret Gilgee, Torvald and Ragna Gilgee, Andrew and Anna Tosted, and Paul and Bessie Tosted. This is the reunion program for 1976, pointing out the various things that will be taking place there. I thought I could get it better, but I can't. It talks about the picnic at the Peace Garden, sitting that afternoon, then the program that night at the church. Robert Gilgee was the master of ceremonies. There was group singing led by Carla Myrie, a welcome address by my father, J.A. Gilgee, piano solo by my daughter, Lisa Gilgee, history of the pioneers, then other things that took place that night. And then the morning on July 4th, we had the worship service at Westland Cemetery, followed by the unveiling of the monument and the filling of the time capsule. The partial attendees list in 1976 from the Andrew and Anna Beaver family is 16, Enoch N. Gilgee family 37, Larson Christina family 36, Peter and Margaret Gilgee 17, Torvald and Ragna 13, Tobias and Karen 10, Tunis and Anna Leah 2, those two from Norway, Knud and Ingeborg Mohn family 8, Andrew and Anna Tosted 37, Paul and Bessie Tosted 36, and others 25. So a very broad group of participants. This is a photo that was taken at the reunion, and I'm going to scan it this way so you will be able to see more of the people. You might know that I thought I'd put this on here just on the small chance you'd see somebody you recognize. This was the other far end of it. I guess that I was hoping I could scan it a little bit, but it's a little hard.
It's like a bunch of Norwegians to me.
That's right. That's correct. That's what they are. And you yourselves might see somebody. There's Norman Gilgee, Sylvia Gilgee, Stanley Gilgee, Ruth, Myrie, Jerry Tosted. I think that's Dwight, Martha, John Brandt, I think. Anyway, with many people have copies of that picture. Then everybody wore ribbons indicating their families, and yellow ribbon for one family and blue for the other. My mother, May Gilgee, she was both Tosted and Gilgee, so she had the two. These are their own ribbons that we had. We had a few visits from Norway people. This was Harold and Cara Leah from Stavanger, who are related to Paul and Andrew Tosted. Then Harold Leah from Norway, Anfinn Birchedal from Norway, Knud Mohn, and we're not sure who he was talking to. I think that might be Chuck Tosted, but I'm not positive. This was Harold and Olive Tosted and Lois Myrie at the picnic. This is Torsten Gilgee from Winemere, North Dakota, and Alec Gilgee from Rolette. This is Kay Hines and Janice Hines and their children taken at the picnic. Martha Morrison Gilgee and her two sons. This is, I think this is Janice Hines and Marlene Gilgee in an act at the reunion evening. This is the Westland Cemetery, the morning of July 4th, 1976. Shows here the monument still encased in some cloth covering it up before it was dedicated. Just some children and people there at that morning. Albert Tosted was, excuse me, go ahead. Question? This is Albert Tosted, who led the worship service. And this is Jerry Tosted making some comments at the service. That's Marie Torsten and Marie, oh gosh, what's her last name? Anybody remember? I can't even remember the last name now. Anyway, and this is the cement block that's going to encase the time capsule, and this is Stanley Gilgee bringing it over to there. This is me welcoming people there. And this is a group of people who were going to unveil the monument. There's the little stone that's going to be encased. It says memorabilia open 2026, 2076. And Annie Christensen of the Bakken family, Ruth Myrie of the Enoch Gilgee family, Myrtle Tosted from Andrew Tosted family, Rosa Hansen from Peter Gilgee family, Clarence Gilgee from the Lars Gilgee family, and Marvel Christensen and Clemens Tosted from the from the Paul Tosted family, and Marvel Christensen from the Torvald Gilgee family. So they all participated in unveiling the monument. And this is what it said: Westland Cemetery, Bicentennial Year 1976, dedicated by the descendants to the pioneers of this area and by Reverend K.T. Strand, longtime pastor of Westland Lutheran Church at this site, July 4th, 1976. God bless America. And this is behind this little stone here is where they placed the time capsule itself. So next year, this will be chiseled out and be opened up. This is the process of filling the cylinders with the material that people were bringing, with the kids all around it. And here they are continuing that, getting the mortar ready. This is Norman Gilgee standing there, and I can't remember. This is Kenneth Tosted, John Brandt, and I think this is this right here. I think is Elder Gilgee, and I'm not sure that who this is. It might be Alex. Then the time capsule contents. I thought I'd include this for your benefit. We have this, and we can give it to you to distribute it to you. Shows the type of item, the donor of the items, and the recipient. So I'll just read one or two of these. Envelope from Eldor and Lilas Gilgee for their children. Envelope from Minnie Gilgee for Stephen, Andy, and Christine Gilgee. Ruth Myrie for Carla, Jay, and Mark Myrie. John Gilgee to everyone. My son, who is 10 years old at the time. All kinds of different. Bertina Epic for nieces, nephews, and granddaughter. Jerome and Sharon Tosted for Jerome and Sharon Tosted. So that you can see all the names of the people, and we can share that with you. So when we open that, when the time capsule is opened, these various items will be then given to whoever is the donor or the earliest descendant of the donor. They come from the Enoch Gilgee family, the Lars Gilgee, Peter Gilgee family, Torvald, Paul Tosted family, T.K. Bakken family. All of them put stuff in there. And then just finally, for your information, this is I didn't get this to reproduce very well. This is a major article in the Turtle Mountain Star about the reunion. So this is just to give you a bird's eye view of what did happen and what might happen next year. So questions from any of you, comments by anybody?
Well done, Paul. Good review.
Pardon again?
Good review, Paul.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Anybody have any questions about the nature of what's coming up? Bernie, you were at the meeting this morning. We had a committee meeting this morning.
I was just going to say, or I was thinking that I think most of the people on this session were there this morning. So I think they have an idea. It was a very productive meeting, I think. We got really an outline, to everything's a work in progress at this point, and there's nothing that goes that can't be changed. But just the way it was set up, starting on Friday with at noon with the meeting at the the cemetery, the Vesland Cemetery, I guess, where the time capsule is, and there'll be a combination. Well, there'll be a presentation, apparently. The Beaver family has a monument, or a
Yes,
headstone or something that they are going to add some information to.
yes.
And then there is the sculpture that you've heard about. That will be, that he showed a picture of the rendering of it, the Pioneer family. And then there'll be the opening of the time capsule and bringing that back to the for an opening at this. Paul had a picture of that. What is it called? The Legion Hall or something there?
Yeah.
In Rolette, where we're going
Right,
to open that and probably have some way of maybe there'll be some, this might be something we'll want to add as time goes on, talking about easels or display boards or something that we can put some of that material up on for viewing, or tables or whatever.
Yeah.
And then possibly then people can be, and they won't maybe come to that prepared with something, but you can mention that, before we put the sealed thing back up again, if somebody wants to submit something for deposit, written material or whatever, that could be done then. And anyway, then that night, what did we say? Well, I don't know if that'll be switching back to the casino, which is really, if you're going to stay in Rolette or the closest lodging to Rolette, there's really only one option. And that's that casino where we do have a big block of rooms booked if you're wanting to stay, if you're not within traveling distance, which most people are. Anyway, I'll stop there. That's what we did through opening day.
I wouldn't want to discourage people who would prefer to stay other than the casino. Dunseith is only about 8 miles to the west and Rolla about 8 miles to the east. So there is some other options that aren't too far away from there.
Yeah.
By the way, I didn't forget, and my daughter Lisa is on the program here. Lisa, can you unmute yourself? Because I'd like to invite Lisa to tell us what you have been doing, Lisa, and what's going to happen at the reunion.
Well, my father gave me an assignment at least a year ago. And he wanted me to do some artwork with regards to the Veslands Church. And so between the various pictures that we've been able to put together of Veslands Church, which believe me, are either black and white or crooked or older, or excuse me, newer than what the original church was. I kind of got online and got some ideas of what a traditional Norwegian church would look like in North Dakota. And interestingly enough, I did have a friend who came over one day who was painting with me, and she said, that looks just like a church in North Dakota. Oh, yay. It wasn't the same one that her ancestors were part of, but nevertheless, she did recognize it as a Norwegian church. So what I have one that is framed and will be part of the celebration as an auction item, with all the proceeds going to the sculpture. And then I have several others that Dad wants to use as publicity. So I'm just going to give you kind of a quick glimpse of what I have. I'm hoping that you'll be able to see, at least get some sort of sense. What I really wanted to do was make sure that I could capture the barrenness of North Dakota, kind of the loneliness of that being out there in the middle of nowhere, North Dakota, and represent how things were way back when. And so it's done in a number of different styles. I am a watercolorist. And so I tried, well, you'll see. I tried to do this in a number of different ways. So hopefully, if I can get my iPad to work correctly. There we go. Oh, I was hoping I could just turn this around. Okay, well, I'll do my best to show you. Okay, so this is the framed, the frame view. It's hard to see, so I'm sorry about that. It's from the side looking, Dad, north, is that right?
Yeah, no, that's looking south. That's looking south.
Okay,
Yeah.
looking south. excuse me. And at the time that that this building was there, there was also another building next to it, which I have in some of the smaller pieces that I did. So we kind of have a varied representation of what the area might have looked like back then. So then now we go down here. These are the ones that we're thinking of having made into postcards, or excuse me, magnets that people can put on their fridges to remind them of the dates. So this is one of the first ones I did. It's pretty light, so it's kind of hard to tell too much about that. This is the one we think we're going to use for publicity purposes. It just has a little more detail to it and a little more depth of color to it. It will be reduced to whatever size is necessary to make a good magnet for your fridge. So it probably won't be this large. It'll probably be more vertical, I can't even say the word, vertical than horizontal. But that's probably the one that's going to be used. Here's the third. And then lastly, this is one of the first ones I did. So it's very much, it's a little bit different and includes that building that I was talking about right there. I know Dad was hoping that I'd paint an ancestral family walking into the church, but Lisa does not do people. So
Okay.
anyway, that's the kind of thing I've been working on here. Just like I said, for both publicity purposes and for auctioning off that big one. We're also going to do some prints of this one here that people can purchase for themselves, obviously. So, Dad, did I cover what I needed to?
You did. Questions of Lisa? Anybody got any comments or questions of Lisa?
Yeah, I had a question. This is Bernie. On some of those smaller sketches, Lisa, are any of those based upon a photograph? Is there, or I think
They're all based on photographs.
Oh, great.
Yeah, they all are. And they're just a little bit different. Like I said, there's an outbuilding, for example. You can see it on this one that I put on that one. And we were trying to decide whether that was something we wanted to include in all of them. We did not, just because we weren't sure whether it was part of the church or one of our parcels of land, or so it's not included in all of them. And like I said, I had to look at many different photos in order to come up with an idea for any of it, because all the photos are different. I got a picture.
By the way, on that, Mary, Lisa, we plan to have black and white actual photos, small ones, available for people so they can have that as well.
Good. And then they compare the differences. It'll be like those little magazine games. Try to find the 12 differences between them.
Peter Grant, did you have a question? I guess not. Other comments or questions from people?
Good
Yeah, I have
job.
a question.
Yeah.
Paul, didn't you say that you had a young daughter play piano the first time out?
That was me.
Well,
That's right.
wouldn't that be special if she played again for us?
Randy, that is a stellar idea. A
She
stellar
doesn't
idea.
look too happy
Lisa,
about
can't
that.
You know,
turn that down.
Connecting one reunion to the other.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
that be just wonderful? Yes, that would just be so
Good
delightful.
idea.
Uh-huh. I don't think Lisa is still around. She
Oh,
couldn't play that piece anyway, and she thought she blew it badly at that first reunion. And when I last heard it, it was lovely. So I know I couldn't reproduce it.
What did you play?
I don't know, a Grieg piece, I think.
Oh, yes. I think we need to get Eric, your husband, working on you and some of the others. Terrific. That's great. Thanks, Randy. Good idea. More comments? We've got Peter. Did you have a comment? Maybe not. Arna Østebo from Norway has been on. Are you still on, Arna?
Yes.
Any thoughts you have today?
No, just listen. Very interesting.
Okay, good. Well,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, and Arna, have you got, I don't want to put any pressure on anybody. Do you think
Yep.
there will be many people coming from Gilead or Norway?
This is a difficult question. Maybe we can find out something about that in September.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, good, good.
Yeah.
'Cause I've gotten a few comments from some surprising sources, people we hardly know are
Okay.
coming. So it's
Okay.
unusual. Yeah, thank you. We'll talk about that. Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody got any comment or suggestions or anything on any aspect of the reunion? Okay, I guess we're about to close. Anybody else want to make any final comments? And then we'll just say thank you and we'll get the recording out to you. Okay, any further? Thank you very much. You all, great afternoon. Appreciate so much. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.